What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Because Nate Diaz just fought. I'm actually filming this the night before, so I don't know how he did. But because he's fighting, it got me thinking about Nate Diaz kind of boxing, the stuff that he does. And I want to talk about what makes him so good in boxing and how you can box and be a little bit more like him when you're releasing those hands. Stay tuned. We're going to roll the intro and we'll talk Nate Diaz. So one of the first things that we have to recognize about Nate is he's not the best boxer in the world by any means. He's not somebody who's super crisp like Canelo, but not everybody can be like Canelo. Some people can move with the Nate Diaz sort of style and it works for them. And that's what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on what makes him unique and how you can really start to implement this into your training. He doesn't hit the hardest. He's not the fastest, but he's still a nightmare for the guys in the UFC. So the first thing I want to focus on is Nate's 1-2. His jab to his cross. What makes it so unique when he throws this? The first thing that you'll notice when many people throw jab cross is they 1-2. Just sort of classic boxing style, just boom, boom. That's it. Boom, boom. But when Nate throws, he kind of, I'm going to try and recreate him. Fun fact, you guys might not know that I've actually done some mocap work. That means you put the big suit on, they capture your movement for UFC. I never played Nate Diaz, but I played a couple of the other guys, Anderson Silva, different fighters. So I've actually done a little bit of this before. It's not my forte, but I'll do my best Nate Diaz impression. So when he throws his jab cross, he falls forward dramatically with his head. He'll be out here and but the big thing that you'll note about him is the time between his jab and cross are super minimal. Normally 1-2, but he kind of lets both hands come out at once. This means, in a negative aspect, that the jab hand is still out while he's throwing his cross. So defensively, you are not as protected as you should be, but when you're as tough as Nate Diaz, it doesn't matter. So try this sometimes. Instead of stepping in and going one hand back to the head, you actually throw your cross before your jab gets back. And you lean your head in, so your weight is falling forward and you're creating more power. Maybe even faster between hands. That was a bad demo. Something like that. It's an interesting style, but if you actually practice it enough and the person reaches to block the jab and you come with the cross right after, you can make it work. Nate Diaz, tactic number 2 for boxing. I don't even know what it's called. I'm gonna call it the hand rumble because I don't have another name, but I'm just trying to figure out when somebody's doing this, what do we call it? Why is this effective and why do we see him do it so often? Number one, it throws people off. Have you ever boxed with somebody or fought in the gym at all with somebody and they're moving around and then all of a sudden they're doing this on you? People are gonna just take a little moment. They're gonna go, huh? So that is an advantage. As soon as you make people think, that's an advantage. Number 2, he's staying loose. And as he's distracting people, then he can come into that 1-2, which we already talked about. Is this the best tactic in the world? Is it revolutionary? Is it gonna cause you or make you get a lot of knockouts? No, probably not. But it might throw off your opponent's rhythm. So when you're on the outside, instead of stepping right in every time, just roll the hands, reassess, roll the hands, and then step forward with that 1-2. Something different to think about it. If you know the name, you can drop it in the comments below, but I'm just gonna call it the hand rumble. Number 3 point for Nate Diaz is his ability to go from light to hard, back to light to hard. He touches, hard shot, touch, hard shot. If you're on the bag, it'll look something like this. Just work light, and then boom, back to light. He very rarely takes long breaks. That's the big thing about him. He's not going 1, 2, 3, stepping out. He's going 1, 2, 3, hard shot, right back to light, back into hard. Again, something like this, just again, I'm not Nate Diaz, but I'm doing my best. If you can mix up your power, keep people surprised, touch, 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 power. And then before they have a chance to recover, you're already touching them again, looking for the opening instead of actually trying to force it. He finds the opening. That is what's very unique about his style. The next point is twofold. We are talking about his long hooks and his Stockton slap. Both of these are so unique because normally when we're at this distance here, people are only worried about straight punches. But with Nate, he can come around and either slap you or come with a big hook. I've talked about one of the advantages to being able to throw a long body shot on people, a long body hook. You can surprise them when they think they're out of range. What Nate does is he throws his arm up and he just folds his wrist, a little wrist fold. So now you're landing with the knuckles. If he's punching instead of slapping, he lands with the knuckles, but he's still getting massive distance. When he throws his slap, his elbow actually leads. That's not a classic hook. Classic hook, hand leads, elbow behind. But he comes like this, he gets lots of whip, and he can just slap people in the face when they're not expecting it. Same thing on his long punches. He's going long, 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 and then he throws his hook. So try when you're on the bag not to always think, I have to be here when I throw the hook. No, you can be out here and still land. Or you can be even further out of range and get that extra little distance with that long slap. Obviously, you can only use the Stockton slap if you have open face gloves. Does not work as well with boxing gloves, but something to think about. Play around with that. Try throwing long shots. Get the little wrist fold. It's not as powerful as a classic hook, but if it lands and it throws people off, that's enough. It works. And the very final point, which to me makes Nate Diaz so distinct, and it's something that I actually try to work when I'm on the bag myself, is the minimal amount of time between punches when he combos. Even if he's not doing the 50%, 100%, 50%, 100%, a lot of people, like classic trained boxers, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But Nate's he kind of lets everything float. He does some things incorrectly, like he'll finish his combo a lot of times with his hand swinging down. But again, he's tough. Doesn't matter if he gets hit. So when you're on the bag or when you're shadow boxing, you're doing something, don't always think hand here, hand here, hand here. If you want to box like Nate, you have your hands in this position and you're just kind of letting them float. I'll try and give you a quick demo on the bag as best I can. Nate Diaz, wrap it all up, give you a impersonation, and yes, it's not going to be the best thing ever, but I'll do my best.
I think it's pretty good.
So that's my Nate Diaz impression. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But it gives you a sense of the little elements that you can add into your boxing. If you want to be a little bit more like him, I have not watched the fight yet. Like I said, I just got this idea spur of the moment because I went, Diaz is fighting tonight. What's unique about him? His boxing's unique. Let's do an episode on that. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does tonight against Tony Ferguson. Wow, what a turn of events. Supposed to be fighting Kamzat, where I went, I don't know how he's going to win that fight. And then to Tony Ferguson, I love this matchup. I think it's a great way for him to potentially have a good chance of getting a win and then going and telling the UFC, I can't even do the finger thing. I don't swear or anything like that. But, he'll finger them and go and check out his contract somewhere else. And if he does sign with the UFC, he's going to make them pay him so much money. Good for him. Great turn of events. I hope he wins the fight. I like Tony Ferguson, but Diaz is just an icon in the sport. And I think he deserves at this point to just get some crazy big money. So I hope you guys enjoyed the fight, even though it's already happened now. And as always, guys, train hard, give the video a like, and I will see you back here soon.